This is the Tree of Life, Season 15, Chapter 3. In this episode, we will be reintegrating our discussion of substitution events in light of the conformational entropy of hybrid structures. To start off, during last season we talked about how negation results in a substitution event, which, at the conclusion, through sublimating verbalization generates a hybrid structure, before a resumption of time parsimony. We observed that there is a chain reaction from each descending path, a causal reordering, which occurs coincident with the resumption of time parsimony. This causal reordering results in a divergence between the subjective recollections, which accord with path parsimony for the negating individual, and that of the conjoined consensuality. That is to say, that all of the descending paths, described by negation, resulting in further convolution, will have happened for the conjoined space, whilst the negating individual will remember the truncated path. This is a brief summary, but if you want to understand the analysis better, you will have to return to earlier episodes. Now, in this episode, I would like to talk about the entropy of those convoluted paths. The path associated with path parsimony is of less information than the path associated with time parsimony. Which is to say, that through negation, the convoluted descending paths each possess, intrinsic to their convolution, more information than the path which coincides with path parsimony. We see also that through the sublimating verbalizations, and the creation of a new hybrid structure, this information is captured as conformational entropy within the configurations of the structure. It is through this transformation of negation into path-related information within the spatial world, then into conformational entropy within a structure, that infinite recursion occurs. Then, only thereafter, through a structural adjustment or inversion of the impulse, with the resumption of time parsimony, does that infinite recursion dissipate, as if it never was. Let me explain. If we take the lesson from the last episode, that every sequential interaction, or intersection, must possess the same or less conformational entropy than the one before, we can see that the transformation of negation into path-related entropy, information, through the elongation of phase associated with a given arrangement, represents a parallel process, whereby the structure loses conformational entropy in parallel to the convolution of path within a substitution event. Thus, since the structure loses entropy, it would appear that the path-related entropy cannot return to the structure, because the subsequent intersection must have the same or less entropy than the one which preceded it. The result are the embedded intersections, which result in a step-down of that excess entropy through path-related convolution. In those intersections, we see that entropy, which is shifted to path-related convolution, impacts all those subsequent embedded intersections, because the entropy must decrease or stay the same. Thus, we see a degeneration of that entropy through embedded intersections, approaching the limit of zero, but never quite reaching it. And there's the problem, because in never reaching zero, that path-related entropy produces infinite recursion, because the originating structure's conformational entropy cannot increase. Thus, we see that the structure, which results from the sublimating verbalizations, must experience a structural adjustment, a shift in arrangement of dialectical impulses corresponding to that structure member. That's the end of the podcast for today.